Welcome to the Growing Old Disgracefully podcast, and we have been disgracefully tardy about getting back online again. So, apologies for that. But first and foremost, Ruth, how the hell are you? It's been way too long.
It's been a long time. We are bad for that, but I think that we've always said that we're not a weekly podcast or a monthly podcast. We're when Ruth and Andy can catch up, and then we'll use this as a good excuse to catch up podcast. But yeah, it's all good. I think, Andy, we were just briefly chatting then about how children are off school for summer, and I know that your little boy isn't quite school age yet.
That's
It
right.
won't be long. He must. What is he like? He'll be coming at 3 soon, won't he?
3 in
Boy, 3.
December, yeah. So it's he's in good form, to be fair. He's a bit crazy. We were away in Spain on holiday, and he's now believes that he can swim. So we're on one side of the swimming pool, he's on the other. He's lobbing himself in. It's like, dude, you can't swim yet, little man, but try telling him that.
My youngest did exactly that. I remember him just running. He was a runner. He just running towards the pool, and he would jump in. And when he was at nursery, they took them swimming, and they got them all out of the pool, and they'd taken off their little floats that they wear.
Yep.
And they had to tell us afterwards, they're like, we had a little incident, and basically they were filing back into the changing rooms, and he jumped in the deep end, just jumped in. But luckily the instructor was able to just grab him out.
Yeah.
So
sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Oh, brilliant. Well, you'll be pleased to know he's still the crazy one. So, I doubt Finley will ever just...
Yeah, he's never not going to be the crazy one, sadly. He's got me as a father and Laura as a mother, so he's knackered on all scripts, I do believe.
Yeah. That's, a friend of mine from school that I hadn't seen for years. When I was talking about my kids, she was like, well, you're never going to have normal children, were you, Ruth? And I'm like, what's she trying to say?
Cheeky swine.
But she's probably got a point. Oh, well, I'm glad that he's enjoying the water,
Oh, yeah, he's loving life, so yeah.
Yeah.
It's always good.
It's been a great summer as well. It's been so warm, hasn't it? So we'll do the standard British weather chat. It's been really warm. My grass is not growing.
I've been doing that thing about I don't know if you guys have had, like, obviously, have you had hose pipe bans and stuff? Because we obviously don't. We don't, fortunately.
No, we haven't. I'm surprised though, because it hasn't rained here. I think it said something like 28 days or something like that. But we haven't got a hose pipe ban.
So I've been out. It's so weird when you get to a certain age, you're like, oh, I need to make sure my grass is okay. So I'm out, like, watering it and giving it fertilizer and stuff. I'm like, man, this is how I know that I'm now middle-aged. And do you know what? I'm all here for it. I'm all here for it. Genuinely, I'm like, this is amazing. This is my chat.
The only sad thing is, my favourite thing is mowing the lawn, and it doesn't really need mowing much at the moment. But I did buy a sprinkler, but the problem is it doesn't necessarily get all of the bits of the garden. So I've still got a few browner patches, which I'm not happy about.
Well, is it boy or girl dog you've got?
It's a boy, but he still wheezes like a girl. We've got 2 boys, but one of them isn't damaging the lawn, but the other one is.
If I remember rightly, it is. Is it not? It's female dogs that do the destroy your grass with their pee, I think.
Yeah, but
the boys do as well, but it's not to the same level, I don't think.
They said to put. This is really interesting for people listening. But I heard something about putting tomato or something in their water is meant to help. But the thing that I'm finding is if I'm not hot on it with picking up dog poo, it scorches the ground underneath, so the grass gets through, and that's really annoying because we went away for the weekend and the dogs were looked after at home, and I've got a lot to pick up, and it's been sunny, and I've got big brown patches, brown on top and underneath.
Yeah, there's no need for that, is there? You're like,
no,
dogs, no.
So, but I am enjoying, I do enjoy that side, and I think I'd rather it wasn't raining, but I am pleased now that we're at a normal temperature, I think, rather than the super, super hot.
It's been pretty sweaty, hasn't it?
Yeah, and actually now it's cooled off down here. My sleep has been so much better. Like last night I slept well, and I was like, oh, that's because it's cooled off a little bit, which has been nice. And that's the complaint I think I've been hearing most from members, is that the heat is impacting that. When it's been really hot, it's had an impact on their sleep.
Yeah, and that kills you off. It's horrible.
It makes everything easier, doesn't it, when you've had decent night's sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like you know, it's an unusual summer for us, as in there's normally rain, and normally as soon as the kids break up, it gets wet. But I am enjoying it. I did do an event, Andy, actually,
Nice. What did you
few
do?
weeks. I did one that I did last year, and I'm sure we talked about it last year, but I basically did no training, but booked in a couple of weeks in advance to this event where you do as many of these 5 mile loops in 12 hours as you can. But again, no intention of actually doing the full 12 hours because you
Yeah.
can finish whenever you want to finish. But I ended up doing more than I thought because I kept my friend company for some of her loops. She was doing a 36-hour one. So she'd been going all through the night. Yeah, by the time I ran with her, she'd been going all through the night. And I got back from one of my loops. I'd done 2 loops and got back, and my husband was saying, yeah, she's not feeling so good. Like she was in one of the, it goes up and down, I think, when you're doing ultras like that. And I was like, I can do the next one with you if you want. And she was like, yes, please. So I went with her, and then everyone was like, yeah, you need to keep going with her for as long as you can now, please. And I was like, oh, I've
I,
not
d-
trained for this.
I did not sign up for that.
No, but it was lovely. But I did 35 miles, which when you haven't trained and it's 31 degrees, was probably a bit much for my body. As in, I felt okay muscle wise afterwards, but my guts shut off, and I was really not great for the week following. I think it was the heat, and I
Yeah.
just I couldn't eat during it, which I hadn't trained myself to eat, because if they shut off in a normal run, it doesn't matter, you're finishing,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So it took me a while. It took me, yeah, a while to get back to normal. But that's the only thing that's big that's happened here. Whereas you've been cutting, like you've maintained the weight that you lost on your cut, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Haven't you?
So
You're looking
I think
slim, like,
yeah,
and
getting
muscular, sorry,
get
and
getting no no skinny
jacked.
skinny bastard. Yeah no. So I'm down 20 kilos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
20 kilos. Wait a minute. 109, 99, 89. Yeah, I weighed in today. So imagine to maintain it. So I've kind of, since Spain, I've kind of just been kind of cruising a little bit because things have got quite busy with the comedy side of stuff. So I've managed to be I've managed to kind of hang on. And actually, I'm at my lowest weight of the whole time today. So I was 87 and a half kilos today, which is the lightest I've been since probably 2015.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever known you
Yeah,
that light.
2015 was the last time I was that weight. I was 86 in 2015 because I competed in a bodybuilding competition in 2015. So yeah, that was it's I think the big part about it is for me is about keeping myself busy. So I'm very much a boredom eater. If I if I've got nothing to do, I'm like, oh, I wonder what's in the cupboards. But because I've been quite busy, we were away on holiday with the wee man. We then came back, and I've been kind of throwing myself in the deep end with the comedy because the Fringe is coming up. It's a kind of bit like I
Yeah.
don't have the time to think about, oh, I wonder what's in the cupboard. I'm eating my meals when I need to eat them, and I'm then getting out and doing stuff. So I think that's something that I've always known that I've been a bit of a boredom eater. And
Mm,
this kind of just like highlights it. So it's just been a bit case of cleaning that up more than anything else, and
yeah.
just being a bit smarter with it.
Yeah. I find that when my hunger goes up, it's when I'm tired. That's the
Yeah,
thing for me. And it's like insatiable hunger. So when you're not sleeping properly, it's when you've got proper hunger, it's really hard to just kind of be like, no, don't eat. Like it feels a
yeah,
lot. So for me, the cooler weather is right now.
definitely
Still being
helps.
sunny, but it helps it, or like getting air conditioning would be the other thing. Because even though a lot of people talk about their appetite being suppressed when it's hot, I don't find that. I find that I crave different things.
Mm,
So calorie wise, I don't think it's suppressed. It's that I just don't want necessarily big, heavy meals. But I will crave, like after the run, when I lost my appetite for a little bit, and then I was craving, and I think this was probably an electrolyte thing, which we can talk about in a minute, but was salty crisps. I don't eat crisps, just they're not my thing. But I
mm.
definitely did when it's hot. I can crave them. But anyway, you've done brilliantly with your cut, and the fact you're maintaining it shows that
Yeah,
it's working.
I think it's just one of those ones where it's very easy to slacken off. Like for the majority of people coming back from a holiday, the weight isn't put on whilst you're away on holiday. Like what massive damage can you do in 2 weeks? It's the fact that you extend that holiday of eating for another 6 weeks after that, and then wonder why you put on 3 kilos. You're like, well, if you'd have just gone back to reverted back to plan that you had before you went away on holiday, you'd probably be
Back to
back to where
routine.
you'd be back to routine. Yeah, you'd be back to where you were. And because weight comes off quite quickly when you're away because of things like, yeah, food volume, because you'll probably eat a bit more, things like pressure, etc. When you're flying, I think water retention comes back out of that as well. So there's
Just
all
sitting
these
for long
little,
periods as
yeah,
well.
that's it. So I think your body is quite quick to try to come back to sort of maintenance or where it needs to be. But
Mm.
we generally, or the majority of people are like, oh, it's fine. I'll just have another week and just like relaxed eating. I'll just do what I want. And then that spirals into 2 weeks, into 3 weeks, into 4 weeks. And then you're like, I'm 4 kilos up. Oh crap, what's happening? So
And I think part of that is because you get home and you're tired and the fridge is empty and all of those things. I
yeah,
think having a plan, because there's often moments on holiday, like you're feeling pretty chill. There
yeah,
might be a moment a couple of days before you head home where you're like sitting down, if you've not got a toddler running around, but you might get a moment in the evening to actually think about what your routine would be when you get home. And I actually will go as far as booking an online shop to be delivered kind of soon after getting back. So I just need to manage that immediate moment
yeah,
because that helps with getting back into routine. And you
yeah.
kind of can crave routine, I think, after a holiday as well. Although the other thing I was going to say, and I don't know if you find this as well, I will often find that as long as people are staying mindful, they actually often don't put on weight. And I've actually got members who will lose weight on holiday. And I think that that is because that, like you were saying, they're busier, they're more active. They have to make an effort to go out and get, if they're not in an all inclusive, effort to go and
Mm,
get those extra things. And so sometimes it actually, you know, doesn't change anything. If anything, you come back, apart from a bit of water weight from travel, you might find you lose a bit.
yeah,
But
I
it's
think
just,
as well, it's like when we go away, we are not I hate using the word typical British holiday maker, but I'm not looking for beige British food. Like we go away and we're like fish, we're looking for fresh stuff. Like when we were in Greece a few years ago, it was like the chicken and lamb gyros and stuff like that. You're like,
oh,
this
I
is great.
love.
It's like, oh, so good. But it was funny because we went to a restaurant, and it's one of those ones where whenever away, I always try and kind of use a bit of the language. So I kind of
Yeah, of
started to
course.
learn Spanish a wee bit after we were in Mexico a few years ago, and I'm back onto Duolingo since we've been back. So I'm on like a 27-day streak of learning Spanish now.
Well done.
I don't remember any of it though, so
No, I did.
it's
I
obviously
did.
not
I did a
sticking.
couple of years. I got to quite a big streak, Andy, and I have to be honest. I don't think you would say that I could speak Spanish.
Yeah, the thing is, it's random stuff though. It's like I want to know how do I say this is my name, not I need a coffee with coffee with milk. I don't drink coffee, so why the hell do I need to know? It'd be better if you
Yeah,
could choose what you were learning. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. But
yeah.
we went to this restaurant, and we went there a couple of times because they had this big fish platter that was like salmon, cod, prawns,
Oh,
clams, mussels, and then so like put some chips. Well, I got like some French fries on the side, and it came with like boiled vegetables, so like broccoli and green beans and stuff. And
nice.
the guy came over and he's speaking really good English to be fair. He comes over, he's like, "Oh, do you want the kids menu?" And we're like, "No, it's fine. We just he can just get stuck in." So they put the vegetables down beside Finley, and straight away, handful of broccoli, just mashing broccoli in his mouth. The guy's like, "What's going like?" Because there was obviously quite lot of other British kids around, all eating chicken
Yeah.
nuggets and chips and stuff. Or they're like, does he eat like this all the time? Like, yeah, he does. It's one of his favorite foods is broccoli. And I was like, I don't know where he gets it from because it's not me because I hate broccoli. But
Do you?
hate
I
it.
think.
Absolutely
I
detest
think
it.
we wean. I think quite often we wean kids on broccoli when we're doing the weaning, and maybe
Mm,
that's why they like it. But my boys have always loved broccoli and
yeah.
peas and the
He loves
green veg.
broccoli, green beans,
Yeah.
loves peas. Not a
Mm.
huge carrot fan, which I understand. I think he prefers
In
raw
a cake,
carrot to
though.
cooked carrot. Yeah, yeah. If it's in a cake, winner.
Yeah.
So yeah, but and he was loving the prawns, loves salmon. So I think the guy in the waiter was like, I just look watching, going, I can't believe what he's doing. Like it's just
But
smashing the fish. So that's
but he's
basically what
watching
he
you
does.
guys. He's watching you guys eating that thing. They want to be involved, don't they? They want to have what you're having, which is
Yeah. My
great
pr
at
my
that age.
my proud moment this week is I've been doing steak and potato nachos. So basically just sliced potatoes, a little bit of oil, some salt and smoked paprika, oven roast them so they come out like your nachos.
Yeah.
Then I've been using pop's eye rump steak, get it nicely cooked, sliced up, popped on top, bit of cheese on top of that, and then homemade salsa, guac, and sour cream.
Oh,
Like
yes. That
genuinely
sounds incredible.
it's one of the best. I'll send you a picture of it. It's one of my
Yes.
favorite meals, and it's like this is tonight will be night three of it. And this week, Finley's been getting stuck in about the steak. He's like, I want some steak. So I'm like, cool, give him some steak. And he's like us. He likes his steak kind of rare, medium rare. So
Yeah. Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
sitting there and he's chewing away at the steak because previously he's had steak and he's not been that massively enamored by it. He's not been hugely enamored by chicken, to be fair. Likes mince, likes sausages and bacon and stuff, but steak seems to be that's his new thing. So steak
Like
and
his dad,
prawns,
then.
fucking
Yeah.
expensive taste, wee man, calm down.
I don't just want you to send me a picture. I want you to send me instructions as well,
All
please.
right, yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
because that really does sound like the type of food I love. The other thing I was going to say, whereabouts in Spain were you?
Mijas, so between Marbella and
Oh,
Malaga.
yes.
So
Yeah, yeah. So right
right
down in the
beside
south,
Fuengirola.
hot.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was about 37, 38 degrees, but
Mm,
there's an oxygen gym down there. So it's basically like the oxygen gyms out in Dubai and stuff. It's
yes.
big office block, air conditioned. It's got a gym out on the balcony. It's got the indoor gym. It's got paddle courts, outdoor gym, high rocks, CrossFit, spin class on the roof. Like it is a. Have you heard of Martin Ford? Do you remember
Yeah.
Martin
No,
Ford?
you've told. Yes. No, I
Martin
think we've
Ford was
spoken about him before.
he was in the new Mortal Kombat film, but he was also in like a few other. He's like a big mutant of a man. He's about 7 foot tall, big fucking huge guy. But that's where he trains. He trains out there. It's a really smart gym, right? Really, really cheap, and it's also cheap. Like I think for a week's guest pass was like something like €49. So it's well worth if you're out in if it's classed as Marbella, but
Yes, I can
It's
see it.
actually Calahonda. Um, but if you're out that direction, it's like 15 minutes from Fuengirola. If you're out that direction, go take a wee trip. It's a belter of a gym.
See, this is probably quite a good topic because if you're going away for a week or 2 weeks and you decide you're not going to go to the gym and strength train, you're not going to lose all your muscle in a couple of weeks. However, people like Andy feels better for going to the gym. So you want to keep training. So you
Yeah.
don't have to train when you're on
Nah.
holidays as long as you're getting back into routine when you go home.
Mine's
But
is genuinely about movement, is the fact that I'm not going on holiday to train to try to make any gains. Mine's is just literally to keep moving. Because if I don't train, I stiffen up, I get
and you
sore.
probably get grumpy.
Yeah, and it's a bit of it's a bit of get your head out of there as well. So yeah, absolutely.
And also, when you've got access to a gym that's different, I think that makes it feel almost like doing something different as well. Like you've probably got access to nicer gyms up there anyway, but we live in the middle of the countryside. If I go away and there's a
Yeah,
really cool place that I can go and, try different equipment and so on, and it's welcoming, then I feel quite excited about giving it a go. But if it's a really shitty hotel gym with, a couple of light dumbbells and a treadmill, then I probably would just do some body weight stuff in the hotel room
yeah.
to keep flexible. But equally, like I think last November when I went away, apart from running because we were going out with the group, I decided not to go to the gym, and that is the first time in a long time I've not trained when I'm away. But obviously, it doesn't make any difference, and
There's
it
no, and
it's
there should be no guilt. There should be no guilt thrown in with that stuff either. Like,
no,
if you
no.
train, you train. There's no guilt for about wanting to train when you're away. But if you don't train, there's no guilt about not training either. Like, at the end of the day, it's a holiday. These
Are
things
you
happen.
are you poorly, Andy?
I'm getting over a chest, not a chest, I'm getting over like a bit of a cold or a flu or something. Little man's first week back at nursery and he's giving me the fucking lurgy. So I've been
Mm.
howking up stuff, which has not been fun. But yeah,
I don't know if you get this, but I get a bit of asthma, but I'm really terrible. Nobody take my advice on managing asthma. It's so mild that I think I've just got very used to over the years just having this really mild asthma. But this last couple of weeks or last week, for the first time in a long, long time, I've been getting, when I was out running, like bronchospasms. So you suddenly feel like, and then you stop and you calm your breathing and then you can get a breath again. And I'm wondering if that is because of something in the air, if there's like, because it's been dry for so long, but not a bug though. Better not be a bloody bug. I don't want a bug.
No,
Finley can
don't
keep
no.
that in Scotland, please.
Yeah, nobody wants bugs.
Not in the summer ones. I don't know why. If I think because it's hot outside often, they almost feel like you feel clammier and worse. And I don't know. I think if I'm going to get a bug, I'd rather have it in the winter when we're
When it's
huddled
miserable
inside
and
anyway.
crappy, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
also find if and during the summer it takes longer to get rid of. I don't know
yeah.
why that should be, but I always find like if I get a
Mate,
summer cold, it hangs it out for way too long. Whereas like winter cold's gone,
are
like
you not
it's in and
resting
away.
as much when you get one in the summer? Do you think you're still trying to get out and do stuff because it's summer?
I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm not very good in the heat and my body kind of. I'm not very good in the heat. I really only recently have actually managed to handle the heat as as well. Like Laura handles the heat really well. So does Finley. Like they tan like the gold mahogany. I'm like I need to go sunbeds for 6 weeks before I get into like 17 degrees. Otherwise, I end up burning.
It's
But
that Celtic blood. Yeah.
that's it. Yeah,
My husband
the ginger is strong.
the my husband sent me a reel because he's the same as you in that he really struggles in the heat, but he sent me a reel and it was this lady lying on a sun lounger, and behind her in the shade was this her partner who was very pale and covered up. He was under the shade, covered up, and it said, when you marry outside your SPF factor." And I was like, yes, that is what I did. I married outside my SPF because he is he's, well, I say moontan clan. He is pale. It's
Yeah.
like proper pale. But you know, this year has been hard for managing the heat. Even like in my office, it's been really hot, and I've realized that where most people slow down in the heat, my activity was actually more during those hottest days. And I think it's because I was just moving around trying to get comfortable, because if I sit down in one place and it's really hot and I'm like, oh, I feel a bit gross, I'll then try and move somewhere else. So I actually think that I was moving more than normal when we
Hmm.
had that hottest weather, whereas a lot of people were saying that they couldn't. But it did make me want aircon. I'm like, that would be quite nice
Yeah.
right now.
It would be. It would be.
Yeah, for that couple of weeks of the year. Although it feels like it's happening each year now. So I don't know. The weather is changing in the UK. Maybe.
That's it.
Uh,
Yeah.
Have you seen anything on Instagram, social media that's made you go question anything?
Mm,
Or
not
always?
Not well, yeah, not particularly. I think the one that I kind of this week I put it up on my story. I think it was yesterday. Was out for a walk with the dog, and it was a
Yeah.
kind of wee old lady walking her black lab, and said like kind of hello to her, and then she was doing the same circuit but backwards, and I caught her at the top end of it, and ended up chatting to her for like sort of 5 minutes, and it was quite nice. She was like, she was like, "Oh, it's very nice to speak to people because not many people speak and stuff anymore." I'm like, "That going nuts." Was if you ever see me, always say hello because I'll always say hello back. It was kind of just one of those kind of nice moments where you're like, actually, still a bit of humanity left in the world, and kind of just prompted me just to go, can just take like 0.1 second of your day and just say hello to somebody. You might get
Do you
nothing
know,
back from them. You might get like a what the fuck what? Might be a confused look, but it's nice to be nice.
see, we live in a village, so you'll say hello to people often, but sometimes I'll go out for walks and I'll have headphones on. And what I've noticed is if I don't wear my headphones, I mean, even like I wore my headphones on a run this morning, and even when you're bumping into people on the run, that doesn't matter if you're wearing it. But what I noticed when I wasn't wearing my headphones this day is that there was like the teenagers stopped to talk to me. Like there was a boy who I hadn't seen for years who'd gone to the school with the kids, and he wanted to tell me something exciting that had happened, and something else happened, and afterwards I was like, it's because I looked approachable because I wasn't wearing headphones, and then
Yeah,
people were more likely to talk, and I got back feeling really nice because I was like, oh, that was lovely that people felt like they could just stop and chat about something.
yeah,
Whereas I think when we are kind of plugged in, we don't always look accessible, if that makes sense.
yeah. Well,
But
it's that when
it's, yeah,
you go in the gym and you do that baseball cap on, headphones on, because you don't want anybody to annoy you.
yeah,
So Yeah,
Yeah.
very much so.
And I think that, yeah, the gym is one that I do kind of almost go into my zone, but then I have to like
But the
take them
thing
off.
is, that's one of the places I would say that's needed. You need to do that. That's, it's
Mm.
about getting your head in the place where you need to train. Um, and also as well, sadly, I don't know what you're like when you train, but I unfortunately seem to get all the tits of the day come and try to speak to me. I'm like, Just fuck off and leave me alone."
Oh
Um,
no, I don't get that.
and you'll know very quickly if you're one of those people because it'll be like one word answers. If I
Yeah,
actually want to, if it's something I'm not, I don't mind. I'll chat away to them properly. There's a lad this morning I was chatting to in the gym and he was chatting. He's like, "Oh, I'm taking up time at your workout." No, it's fine. Don't stress. We're all got plenty of time. So chat
yeah,
away. Whereas there's somebody in the other day trying to speak to me and it's just just a bit of a the gym FUD basically. And it was just like, yeah, no, nah, nah, right, Matt, I've got to go.
yeah.
Just make it really obvious.
We've got the people that talk to us in the gym are always pretty nice, but like it's normally either short conversations or there's an
Yeah.
old boy who's in there quite often and he comes over to ask how our son is and things like that. So they're pretty nice. Um, but actually, there was something I was going to say to you about the gym because I know you love chatting different exercises. And I'm just completely going on to a different topic the other day. I just thought you'd like this. So I switched up. I couldn't get on the rack. I was going to use the barbell. I was going to do barbell reverse lunges because
Hmm.
I quite wanted to do them. The rack was being used, or both racks. There's only two in the gym, but the Smith machine wasn't. So I was like, do you know what? Fine, I'll do Smith machine reverse lunges. Fuck me, Andy. My glutes were so sore, and I think that it just keeps you in that upright position. And I was like, it made me go, great, good. I am engaging my glutes properly, so that's fab. But I was like, I've always been a bit snooty about the Smith machine in the past. I'm like, I don't need it. I can just use the rack. But I was like, well, this is the thing about machines and Smith machines. They keep you in a certain position, don't they?
Yeah, Smith machines are very it's a very underutilized piece of kit. It's also quite a badly used piece of kit at times too. So
Mm.
when you do see people using it, sometimes it's a bit like, But
You hear about horrible accidents.
see for like a lot of like I'll be the first one to admit, back in the day, I would have been one of the gym snobs, one of these squat snobs that were like, "Oh, you shouldn't squat on a Smith machine." I love squatting on a Smith machine. I love the position of like a chair, like a chair squat,
Yeah.
similar to a hack squat, but with obviously no back support. And I've actually started doing a bit of squatting with the Smith machine where I actually have my lifting shoes on, but I also have a set of squat wedges under my feet as well. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually even higher than that. So it's
Yeah.
really allowing my knees to break. So my quads are getting absolutely fried.
Mm.
Lunges, any form of lunge. The biggest thing with the
Split
Smith
squats as
machine,
well. Good.
yeah, the biggest thing with the Smith machine is stability. Um,
Mm.
if you're doing lunges, if you're doing split squats, if you're doing anything like any unilateral work, the biggest element to a lot of that stuff is the balance side of stuff. So if you're doing split squats with dumbbells, that's great, but your balance is affected, which is great. That's good. You can build a bit of
Yeah, you can work
proprioception,
on.
but you can work on that stuff. But if you're truly wanting to fry your muscles and really get a good workout and really drive hard through the muscle, stability needs to be one of the
You
main
can push
underpinnings
against
of
the
a movement.
bar, can't you? Yeah,
Yeah,
you can just.
there's no
Yeah.
sway. You don't sway back and forwards. I always find that things like lunges, if you're doing them freestanding, you need to pick a point on the floor, maybe 6, 7 feet in front of you, and focus on that. Because as soon as you look up or you see something move, you move and start to go off balance at the same time because you
Mm.
follow the movement. Whereas with a Smith machine, you can't. You could do that. You could look up and see somebody walking in the mirror behind you, but you physically can't go anywhere because the Smith machine won't allow it.
Bless you. Um,
I'm
yeah,
not a
no,
tutor.
agreed. And the other thing I noticed with lunges, that the mistake that a lot of people will make, and then they struggle with their balance. Actually, there's two mistakes I see quite often with lunges. One is that go too narrow stance, and
Yeah,
then you get quite wobbly. The other one is wearing running shoes for doing lunges, and
yeah,
while they can work, but you just have that instability there. And for an exercise
yeah.
that requires stability, that's
Yeah.
makes it harder as well, other than what you've said. But
Yeah,
I do think
that's
that
that's a really
going
good. That's
wider.
a yeah for your lunge, your foot pattern for your lunge, it should be hip width, and it should
Mm,
stay hip width at front and back. The slight kind of not a cheat, but a slight hack for your lunge is the foot that's going to be doing the driving. So if it's a reverse lunge, it'll be the leg that stays out in front. If it's the whatever foot it is that at the front part of the movement is as you go out into that front part, your foot will turn in slightly. So maybe not even it coming, if you were looking at it at like 12 o'clock, it would be like 11:59. That's as
yeah.
much as it becomes in. And it just allows your big toe to grip a little bit more because that's where most of your balance will come from. Just that slight turning of a foot because it doesn't affect where your knee drives to. If you have your
Well,
foot
as I
in
say, as long
really,
as you're driving that knee still, as long
yeah,
as you're
as long
not
as you're
letting the
driving the
knee
knee
turning
through,
it.
yeah.
Mm,
Exactly. So that little turning just allows your big toe to grip a bit better, which allows
mm.
everything to become a bit more stable. The other one as well with things like squats and lunges and stuff like that is when you hit the bottom of the movement and you start the drive back up, grip with your toes. So imagine you're trying to pick up a biro with your toes. As soon as you do that, your knee, the ligaments, etc., around your knee and the tendons tighten up, which stops any sway back to forward. It's a nice little, just a simple hack
Well,
just to
that's
stop any play.
And actually, if you think about when you're standing, anybody just standing at the moment, feet hip width apart, without moving your feet at all, as you slightly turn your knees out, you'll feel your glutes engage as well.
Yeah.
So you can cling on with your feet,
And
but if
screw
you
your
think
feet into
about,
the floor.
but you're
Yeah,
screwing like a corkscrew. So as you're doing that without moving them, so you've got the thing that Andy's talking about, like gripping the floor, but you're also just turning those knees slightly, so you're corkscrewing down, and you feel the glutes engage, and that's
yeah,
quite a nice kind of cue for yourself as okay, this is what I want my knees to be doing, rather than turning in, which is going to not be engaging those glutes as
yeah.
much, because the yes, you want to work your quads and so on as well, and your hamstring, etc., but the glutes are a very big muscle, and they can get very lazy as well.
Absolutely, especially with so many people doing sedentary jobs.
Mm,
If you do a sedentary job, sadly, your glutes probably need a little bit of work to get them fired up. I have massively overactive glutes because so
ew.
I'm lordotic at most times. So my glutes are generally don't need much work to be fired up. But it's quite good to be able to just do that stuff so that you can allow the switch on, switch off as well. So you
Mm.
can engage it to get the sort of the position right, and then you know when you're having to relax at the top end of it as well.
My right glute got lazy when my back was its worst, and again, it's like the protective pattern. Your body thinks at some point it's helped you, but then you
Yeah,
need to start getting them to work again. And I feel like it took a long time, but they are firing up as they should be now, which is such such a nice feeling to not because before you'd be like, yeah, I want you to bloody thing, switch on. I'm feeling them quickly again now, which is really good. Yeah, but it took a bit of work, and I do think that it is having those little mental cues like we've just been
yeah,
talking about, and not putting off doing things like the Smith machine, so that you can actually go, I'm going to just focus on the muscles. And that's where machine weights can be like, I love a leg extension for like working my quads, because I know that I'm hitting my quads. There's nothing else that's just going to kick in before it. I'm hitting them and I want to hit them. So machines have their benefits. It's good to practice some exercises which require a bit of balance and those proprioception skills
yeah.
as well, but not
It's
every
also
single one
it's
needs to
also
be.
very difficult to try to get your quads to solely get the same amount of workout that's not a leg extension. Like a
Mm,
squat, you've got more than just your quads that are driving the movement. A lunge, there's more than just your quads. So actually having being able to isolate your quads is quite a beneficial thing,
mm.
especially around about like things like stability of the knee, etc. It makes a big difference with that kind of stuff. It's one of the first things for in terms of rehab for anybody who's got knee injuries, something that I will program in, even at the lightest weight, is about getting the control back and being able to grip your quads. And it's very difficult to do that in any other exercise. because there's so many other muscles moving and doing work around it.
I remember talking to a physio about knees ages ago. I had her on the podcast, and she was saying similar. She was like, if you've got it building up through doing leg extensions, but if you
Yep.
can't get to a gym, she was like, building up to being able to do a single leg wall sit is going to be a good idea. And actually
Yep.
getting to the point where you're walking downhill is going to build up that knee
Yep.
strength as well.
Yep.
But with everything, it's like you said, even if it's hardly any weight, it is starting with what you can manage now. And even if it's starting sitting on a chair and doing single leg extensions, just sitting on a bench or chair or whatever as well.
Yeah.
And by leg extensions, Andy and I are talking about you just sitting there, knees are at 90 degrees, and you're lifting one leg up to, or both legs up to straighten and then back down. It's quite hard on a normal chair to do both knees, or both straightening both knees, unless you sit right at the edge of it. It's much easier on a leg extension machine, but you can
Yeah.
do something similar at home. You could even put ankle
Absolutely.
weights on, I guess, and do something similar at home. I don't
Yep.
tend to use the old ankle weights. I don't even know if I have any, but I know they're quite a thing online at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, actually that's the other, that's something else. Is that there's so many little things that are not even the 1%, but there's so many little things that we're told to do to optimize, especially when you're getting to our sort of age, Andy.
Yep.
And actually, it's always the basics. Let's build up the basics. Think about what you can do. But I think part of it comes down to, understandably, we all want to take a shortcut if we can. If there's a shortcut available, let's have it. But I was chatting to Dr. Richie Kerwin, who you and I both saw up in Manchester.
Yeah.
The weekend I met you, and he did a podcast with me, and he was kind of saying the same, that like you can't hack your health. You just can't. It's the basics. You can put the supplements in that will help, but you can't. There's no the biohacker. You can't biohack your life.
Well, look at this guy that try to be the ultimate biohacker and stay young. Has just find himself with an autoimmune disease. So, like, you know,
it
can
sounds quite
never
stressful.
you can never exactly. Like, imagine sacrificing 27 virgins a week to get your fresh blood. Like, it's just a very straight. It's a very strange way to live. A very strange way to live. He's obviously using himself as an experiment, but yeah, it's not something I'd be that bothered about.
Now, there's a bit of, my husband was telling me something yesterday that kind of links into people worrying about things. I haven't researched it, so please don't tell me that I'm completely wrong, but I think it comes from something legit. He was saying that all of the studies into microplastics have been discounted because they've realized that all of the studies were done with people wearing latex gloves, and the latex gloves themselves give off these microplastics. So now they've literally had to discount all of them. I will actually fact check that in just a second. But
That's actually that makes a lot of sense if it's true, though, to be fair.
I'm going to look it up. You can chat away, Andy. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, no, I think it's I think that we're all very quick to try to find a shortcut. And in fact, your body's very good at finding shortcuts as well, especially with things like exercise. Your body will find the quickest and the easiest way to get from A to B, and it will do it without you even having to worry about it. It'll do it anyway. And sometimes you need to really sit back and focus on things like leg extension. You know, your hip might rotate round slightly just to make it a bit easier to swing it, or to use momentum. And it's your body's very good at trying to get shortcuts. So of course, as humans, that's what we do.
That's what my body was doing when its back was sore. It was trying to take shortcuts.
Yeah, that's it.
Almost thinking to help it. And I had a client who, you know, has had ongoing pelvic pain for a while, and she was talking about glute activation there. And I said, I wonder if your posture, with years of being in a bit of pain, if you've not been standing up fully. And that's what I think it is. You know, our body will try and protect us as much as it can. It's our default. And pushing through pain is very hard to do, to make yourself move in a proper way. So then it's getting ourselves, you know, noticing it and understanding it. And I have just checked, and it said not all microplastic studies have been thrown out or discounted, but there was a study published in whatever RSC Analytical Methods, and it was discovered that standard disposable latex and nitrile gloves routinely shed microscopic particles. And because of that, they've said that a lot of the studies might have been overestimated due to glove contamination. So they've not all been thrown out, but they are raising doubts over a lot of them because they don't know, because of the fact that there's routine lab contact between the gloved hand and testing substrates. So it said it transferred on average 2,000 false positive particles per square millimeter onto equipment. So it
That's
doesn't mean
interesting.
it's not real, but it does mean that they're going to have to switch
Redo them
out
all.
how they're testing it. But it's just that I use stainless steel pans now, but not because of microplastics. I just use them because I'm fed up with nonstick constantly sticking. And so I bought the old school stainless steel ones.
How annoying is that though? It's like non-stick,
So annoying.
10-year guarantee, literally 10 minutes later, you're like, everything's sticking
No,
to it.
even if you're trying to wash it properly. But the stainless steel pans, bloody love them because you get it up to heat before you add the oil. And then at the end, when you've finished, if it's stuck, you just deglaze it. Bish bash bosh, just a bit of water deglaze and it's clean. And it doesn't feel like it sticks any more than the non-stick. So I've done that,
Yeah,
and a lot of people message saying, "Oh, I'm trying to move away from non-stick pans because of the microplastics. Where did you get yours from?" And I hadn't even thought about that anyway. And I don't like again. I haven't looked at the studies. I don't know if it is something we should be worried about. But my gut says that there's other things that I would worry about first,
yeah,
before that. But yeah, that's so I know it's a thing that people are very aware of now because I've been getting messages about this. But yeah, but the thing is that with all of these studies, you have to look at the details. And that's something that I found really confusing when I was chatting to Dr. Kerwin, is because I will see electrolytes are the example, see
yeah,
people saying that most of us shouldn't take them, have them, and they're being marketed to everyone. But I'm like, but I'm seeing that even if you're doing exercise in hot conditions, you shouldn't take them. He was like, most people not, unless it's like really long, prolonged
yeah,
endurance. So, but I think that's partly why I struggled. I was doing it for a long time, but I think I was because I wasn't replacing my food. I was struggling to eat. I lost a lot of salt. So for me, I got ill after that event. And I think part of that was that. So
yeah.
there is a place for these things. And I just find that Instagram can be very black or white, yes
Well,
or
it's the
no.
same. It's the same thing as there's a one at the moment. I don't know if you've seen it. Is it Bio Revive or something like that? And it's basically this. It's actually a Scottish guy. I want to find out where he is because he's a fucking sellout, whoever he is. And he's like, yeah, so this like we're gonna do. So this pack of Bio Revive fat burners is exactly the same as taking the Manjaro jab. You're like, no, it fucking isn't. Like one is a thermogenic. One is a GLP-1. Like they are completely different. There's nothing in there at all that is even close to
Well,
being the same. And also, the best analogy that I ever had of a fat burner, and excuse this one because it's a bit uncouth. Fat burners are basically like having a posh wank. Like they're fucking pointless. Like genuinely, you're putting in stuff that makes no difference. It'll increase your temperature by 0.001 degree, and
yeah,
it's not actually a thermogenic. The only thermogenic part of it is generally the caffeine. And if you want to do that, go get a coffee. It'll raise your heart rate the same way, it'll raise your temperature the same way, and it'll come down at the same expense as well. Unless, and this is the thing, if you're talking about fat burners, the only ones that actually work are ones that you cannot buy legally across a counter. They're the
mm,
only ones that work, and that's as simple as that. Like there is no that you. It's the same with testosterone boosters. Testosterone boosters are the biggest marketed pile of bollocks in the world. And
yeah,
the only thing that's actually going to increase your testosterone is things like, and you could do them yourself, is sleep better, eat better, like
mm,
train. But if you really want to push testosterone, it's going to have to be synthetic. Like a
mm.
testosterone booster that's apparently a bunch of powders in a capsule does fucking nothing for your
Well,
testosterone.
I was going to say it doesn't do anything for testosterone, but it does something for the
It does something for your
um
wallet, fucking drains
as
it.
that's insane. And that is can be quite hard to navigate as well. I remember when I was planning my podcast, somebody said, "Can you ask?" And we didn't go into fat burners particularly because we had so many other
Yeah,
things to talk about. They were talking about OxyShred, and I have to be honest, these are not things that I've been coming across. I do see
yeah,
people saying nature's Manjaro or nature's Ozempic, and I think what they mean by then is the fact that your body will naturally produce GLP-1. That is just so
yeah,
it will
yeah,
naturally produce it anyway, and they're just suppressing your it's suppressing your hunger, right, as well.
Yeah,
But it's so I think people have clung on to that, and they're like, this has got some, this is the same, and it's like, no,
yeah.
no, it's not. Foods, there are foods that you can eat that might have GLP-1 type things in them, but I
But it's
don't
the
know
same.
enough
It's the
about it.
same. It's the same. The same analogy that vegetarians and vegans always made about, oh, you can get the same amount of protein from broccoli as you can from steak. It's like, well, let's just settle up a little minute. If you have a 150-gram fillet steak, you'll get 42 grams of protein from it.
Mm,
To get 42 grams of protein from broccoli, you need to eat probably 3 fields worth of broccoli, and you're going to be
yeah,
shite. You're going to be struggling to shit for about 7 months. So it's those little things that sound really good and
yeah.
for marketing are really good. Like this BioRevive bollock. It's basically a capsule
I need
that's
to look it
got
up.
it's got green tea in it, which green tea doesn't.
Oh,
It was always claimed to be
well, it's got caffeine in it.
a thermogenic. Yeah, but
Mm,
yeah, it's a thermogenic. Yeah, yes, coffee's a thermogenic, but it's still, and all it's doing is increasing your body temperature for a point, whatever it is, of a degree. It's not doing it by
yeah,
40 degrees so that you're sweating like an absolute shitbag. Like that's
yeah.
just not how it works. And it's just a lot of it is, we've discussed this before. The reason that things like Herbalife, Cambridge Diet, Juice Plus, all this MLM marketing bollocks survives is because you have a bunch of really, really desperate people who are wanting to lose weight. And at the moment, this is being tagged into because things like Ozempic and Manjaro are 150, £300 a month if you're going to do it properly,
More, I
and you're going to
think
get
sometimes.
possibly more.
Mm.
But this stuff's being sold for 30 quid a pouch for
Well,
a month's worth
that's
of capsules. It's You're preying on people who are desperately in need of help and will do anything to change. And that's just the sad fact of it is it's the same as, we discussed this before, it's the same as business coaches. There are an awful lot of business coaches who are failed personal trainers who've never done anything in the fitness industry worth a fucking grain of salt, and they're now selling business qualifications on the proviso that, oh, this is what I do. But it's not. They're mis-selling stuff because anything that you learn from them is generally bollocks.
well, this is the scary thing. So I remember seeing this on a reel, and I did actually mention it to Dr. Karen, but they've got people can buy injectable peptides off the internet for like 30 quid. And I've just
Yep.
looked up now, literally, and it's illegal. So I don't understand how they can. But when they did it, they actually found that I don't know if it was BBC or something like Panorama or something like that. They actually tested what they got, and they thought they were getting I've forgotten which peptide it was. They thought they were getting, it wasn't anything to do with Ozempic. It wasn't like a fat burner one. It was one for more for guys, I think. And it had none of the peptide it said it had in it, but it did have traces of lead and arsenic. So again, like,
Yeah.
please don't buy these
It's the
peptides
the
online.
problem with problem with peptides is that it's still it's still a very much a grey area. It's not. It's a little bit like steroids and stuff. Is that it's technically not illegal to sell.
Yeah.
You can't be a dealer and you can't get caught with huge amounts of it. So peptides are a bit of a strange one, and also across in America, obviously, all these peptides have been passed by the FDA. So, in one country they're fine, but in another country they're not. So people will always, and the thing is with the fitness industry, rightly or wrongly, the majority of people in the fitness industry won't look at the British fitness industry for answers. It's America because they're ahead of the game. So you kind of have that kind of real shit swing there where you're going, we don't.
Well, so you've got me. I'm going to be going, my God, thinking about all of this as well, because that peptide website that I was looking at has got weight loss drugs.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. Well, they've
it's
got.
labeling one of them as GLP-3. So I was like, what's a GLP-3? I've never heard of that. And the reason I haven't heard of it, Andy, is because it's not a thing. A GLP-3 is just a marketing shorthand. And it's basically because it's a product that it's a triple agonist because it works on 3 hormone receptors. But it's not really a scientific term. It's just what they're using. So it's using the semaglutide and blah, blah, blah. But again, this is coming from somewhere that you could just literally put your name in. It's not, you don't know what you're putting into your body, and that is the scary thing.
That's it. It's
Yeah,
and that's the big thing is like, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's on the market just now that you're just like,
yeah.
a lot of it just doesn't make much sense. So yeah, it's a tough one.
And even if you do, because I do understand that there's a place for these drugs for some people, you know, absolutely. But the the thing is, the changes like eating enough protein and fiber, getting in some exercise, doing some resistance training, they're actually even more important if you're taking those medications, because your calories are so restricted, like any highly restrictive diet that you go on. So you wouldn't be able to sustain, naturally, most people wouldn't be able to sustain the amount of calories that you are going to be having if you're on those medications. But say you did, there are issues then with the fact that you can lose some muscle mass, which you'll do if you're in a highly restrictive diet anyway. Well,
Yeah,
you might lose a bit anyway, but regardless, more. But the other thing is, like any highly restrictive diet, if you stop taking it or stop doing it, the rebound is that you make up for it and then you regain the weight. So you really want to practice those healthy habits, because you don't want to be taking, well, I'm assuming most people don't want to be taking these things forever, especially when it costs so
exactly.
much. So it's important. Yeah, fine, you're doing it, it's helping with food noise, etc. But do focus on the other habits rather than just hoping that that handles everything, and then when you stop taking it, finding that it does do what any diet does at that stage, which is the regain. That sounds like I'm being really negative. I'm not. I know it's got a place. I'm just saying that if you don't want to regain the weight, it's the other habits as well.
That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah. But there we go. We got on a bit of a rant. That's not like us, Andy. Bit of a rant
Not
about,
at all.
but I know
It's
we
good to be
should
back.
definitely. It is. I mean, it's been quite a while, and in that time, Andy's been on holiday. I feel like I've not done anything that exciting, but you know, it's different than last summer when I was away for the summer this year
Yeah.
around. But yeah, nothing much has changed. But it's just life just happens, doesn't it, Andy?
That's it. It just kind of it starts. It's the fact that it starts and then starts to run away from you, doesn't it? It's like you're like, holy shit! How long was this the last time we? I
I
don't
know.
even want to go and see when the last time we did a podcast together.
I'm going to
So
see, aren't I, when I go to upload this? But regardless, everyone that listens to us knows that we're not here all the time, but we're here for a good time when we are here. We just make it count and come on, have a rant, catch up, all a bit random, and then we'll be back. And I would say we'll be back next week, but hey, let's not promise anything. Let's just see where things take us. We'll aim to be back as soon as possible.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, maybe we should get Claire onto the podcast sometime as well, Claire
Yeah, I think
Tracy,
so.
because yeah, she might be quite a fun one to bring in the female strength and conditioning side of things as well. There, we can gang up on Andy. Yeah,
That
sounds
sounds like
great.
sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. Anyway, do you want to do the honors, Andy?
Yeah, as always, it's always helpful if you give us a rating wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, wherever it is that you normally listen to us. Give us a wee 5-star rating. You don't really need to write anything on the thing. You can just give us 5 stars. It's always good. It just means that the algorithm, which we all hate very much, becomes more helpful for us and for people to listen to us and hear the ranting that we've done. So yes, and as always, we are both on social media. Ruth is at Ruth Mac Fit. That's an AC Fit. And I am Andy underscore Wolfpack. And we'll hopefully catch you soon.
Yes. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Ciao, ciao.